This is where it all happens, right between that tree and that one. This is Star J.C. Park, a 28-acre gem that was donated to the people of Royal Oak by the Starr family. Orson Starr lived just to the east, and his son John Almond Starr lived just to the west. And these pioneers had a vision, and they gave us this legacy. Hi, I'm Ed Nahat, and I'm the founder of Shakespeare Royal Oak, a festival that has presented professional outdoor Shakespeare right here in Star J.C. Park for 19 summers. Well, we were going to do 20 years this year, but you know what happened. COVID-19 happened. And to be safe for you and our actors, we decided to put it off until 2021. So here I am, all alone, softball, frisbee golfers, but no Shakespeare actors. But imagine if you were here tonight. If you were seated comfortably in your own lawn chair, or sitting down on a blanket in the front row, or even just sitting in the bleacher just a few feet away. And the sunset was glowing over your shoulder, and it came in and bathed that stage in a beautiful golden light. Is a stage designed by a local designer, built by a local craftsman, and populated by the best local actors, professional actors, opening the world of Shakespeare to you. It's the warm summer of 2020, but in the winter of 2000, I was here in Waterworks Park late one night, taking a stroll because it's in my neighborhood. And I suddenly had an inspiration. I saw the streetlight gazing over some old bleachers that were set to the side. And it hit me. Shakespeare in the park, right here in Royal Oak. What a great idea. I'll do it right here in Waterworks Park. So I named my company Waterworks Theater Company overnight. And then I went to City Hall and I asked for permission. Well, they had a couple of different ideas. They said, Ed, Waterworks Park is too small. There's no parking. How about Star J.C. Park just up the street? And so that's why we still call the company Waterworks Theater Company, for the inspiration, even though we put on Shakespeare Royal Oak in Star J.C. Park. So that first season, 20 years ago, we only did one weekend of shows because we weren't sure how many people would love it. But it turned out amazing. We did a Midsummer Night's Dream, and the fireflies came out and the fairies were dancing in the trees. It was just a beautiful night, and people strolled out under the stars. I was so excited, so pleased with the result, that I went to City Hall to thank them. I went in front of the City Commission and the mayor, and I made a speech, and I told them how great it was and encouraged them to come out next year. And everything was great that night. It was like a dream come true for me. The next day was September 11th, 2001. We thought everything changed, kind of like COVID. But we resolved to not let it change us. We resolved to survive, and we did. We put on our second year and our third year and our fourth year, and we kept going until now. So we have the courage of our convictions, and we'll be back if you help us. As they said, the Bard is for the ages, and the timeless plays that we put on in unique and colorful interpretations every summer is something special. An individual design built and put on just for you. And in addition to that, we add all of our children's programming, education from the first grade to the 12th, an outdoor camp where kids learn to do Shakespeare's sonnets, soliloquies, and sword fights. That's my favorite day, is when the kids are up there on the grown-up stage making perfect Shakespeare. Usually we have about 2,000 people come to this festival, and we figure they spend at least $50 per person. And they enjoy it, and we use the money to pay our actors, our designers, and all the artists that are employed here. But in 2020, we don't have any activities. We need to raise money, though, to plan for next year, and so I ask you, the 2,000 people who come here every year, send us $10 each. That will help make our budget for next year and guarantee that we'll be back. Can you do that for us? We really appreciate it. celebrating Shakespeare Royal Oak, Year 1, 2001. We began this festival's life by starting with the most fun play that Shakespeare ever wrote, A Midsummer Night's Dream, directed by Kathy Crater and featuring several actors who worked with us in the coming years. It was a beautiful evening, and people strolled out of that park wondering, what did I just see? Saying to themselves they'd never seen anything like it before, and we knew that we had to come back for Year 2. Shakespeare's chief fairy, Puck, was played by Michelle Held, who is still a local actor and musician. All these years later, Mark Rademacher played Oberon, and Mary Locker was Titania, who came back to direct with us in the future. These talented folks were the basis of all the talent that came after that. The show also featured Ruby Harris as Hippolyta, who was our right-hand producer that year to get us off the ground. We only had one porta-john that year, but we soon learned to order more.
Hi, I'm Holly Conroy. I am house manager and on the board for Shakespeare Royal Oak. I'm sure I'm missing being in the park this summer, but I'm looking forward to seeing you there next summer. This is just an intermission. See you then.
Carrie and Julie Milliron here.
How you doing?
Proud to be, as our friend Ed Nahat recently told us, founding donors to SRO. You know, my parents saw their first and only Shakespeare production at Shakespeare Royal Oak. An experience I don't think they'd have ever had if it weren't for the fact that Ed Nahat and Shakespeare Royal Oak are part of their community.
That's very true.
So here's to you.
Here's to the next 20 years, Eddie. Good luck. Ciao.
Cheers.